Now, world leaders gathered in Munich are focusing on global security. The wars in Gaza and Ukraine top the agenda. The head of NATO says the Russian invasion has exposed gaps in the alliance's resilience.
With the death of Alexei Navalny still resonating and the security of the free world at the center of the Munich talks, America's top diplomat stressed the importance of taking part.
If you're not at the table in the international system, you're going to be on the menu.
There was some optimism about the war in Gaza.
I think there's an extraordinary opportunity before Israel in the months ahead to actually, once and for all, end that cycle. And it's because there's some new facts that didn't exist before when there were efforts to make peace between Israelis and Palestinians, starting with the fact that virtually every Arab country now genuinely wants to integrate Israel into the region, to normalize relations if they haven't already done so, to provide security assurances and commitments so that Israel can feel more safe and more secure.
The Ukraine war, coming up on its second anniversary, was also on everyone's mind.
The year of 2024 demands your response from everyone in the world. If we do not act now, Putin will manage to make the next years catastrophic for other nations as well. Intelligence community are aware of this. Ukraine has already shattered myths with which Russia tried to cloud reality and which the world unfortunately believed. The myth that Russia could capture another country in a few days or weeks whenever it wants. Ukrainians have been holding for 724 days.
Nearly a week after Donald Trump threatened not to protect NATO members who failed to meet their 2% of GDP contribution, Germany's defense minister was upbeat.
I am proud to say that this year we will spend over 2% of our GDP on defense in Germany.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz underlined that commitment.
Yes, money that we spend now and in the future for our security can't be spent elsewhere. We feel that. But I also say, without security, everything else is nothing.
Well, DW's chief international editor, Richard Walker, is covering the conference. I asked him about the main points so far.
The takeaway that you really can't avoid is just the impact of the death of Alexei Navalny, which just hit us here yesterday as people were beginning to gather for the security conference. And this is really a conversation that you feel just almost everybody here has had about that, about this being kind of confronted with the nature of the Putin regime, the reality of that once again, and all sorts of speculation about the timing of that, whether that was a coincidence or whether this was somehow deliberately timed to coincide with this gathering here. Interestingly, one of the takes that I got was from a European leader who I will not name here, but who said, well, if it was deliberate timing, then it was extremely bad timing. It backfired because all it has done is kind of strengthened the resolve of Europe to push back against Vladimir Putin even more strongly than they have until now. But there were certainly also different views, like an Indian delegate who told me that it really doesn't change the fact that India and Russia are friends and are going to stick together. I think that's been the conversation that almost everybody has been having this weekend.